I have a question.
Okay.
Are doctors assigned to these areas?
No, there's no doctors. We do have EMS out there though, with a full ambulance. And that is the only shelter that is guaranteed to have an EMS crew on site while we're there. The other shelters, EMS may shelter there during the storm for themselves, but once the winds die down, they're getting dispatched to calls. They're not there for the shelter. The only one's going to have an EMS crew, the paramedics there, is Palmetto Ridge. So we'll have health department, we'll have EMS, and sheriff's office. So they're the only ones that are guaranteed. So that's why we're trying to get everybody to go to one shelter. We have a lot of dialysis patients we're trying to register. We have 7 different dialysis centers, I think, in this county now. So if they have a problem, they're given 800 numbers by certain agencies to call. But if we had to take them out of county, we'll go from the special needs shelter. We're not going to do house-to-house pickup. Any questions so far?
Where's Palmetto Ridge?
Oil Well Road. If you take a Mockley Road and you're going towards Ave Maria or go towards the casino, you take a right on Oil Well Road. There'll be one of those big traffic signs that says turn here. There's E's General Store in the corner. And it's the 3rd school on the left, because you have the Corkscrew Elementary, Corkscrew Middle, Palmetto Ridge. It's 1655 Victory Road, but it's on the paper. But it's 15, if you go from 951 and the Mockley Road, it's 7 miles east of there. It's about 15 miles from I-75 and the Mockley Road. It's a haul, but it's away from the water. That's the big thing.
Volunteers to work in the memory center?
You would get a hold of the health department, get a hold of Kathleen Marr, and she's I have to get to the number, 252-6834, I'm not, or 6824, I'm not sure. But
Kathleen Marr?
Kathleen Marr, M-A-R-R. She does have some people, if they're back here during season, from the Medical Reserve Corps, but a lot of them are seasonal people. But she does also use them in the shelters. So what they use at the health department uses all their staff. So some of the people checking you in may be clerks. They're not all nurses. The nurses will run the shelters, but do not have all the staffing. So there's limited staffing. Trying to think, we're talking about trying to recruit some more people, medical people to help out there. If anybody does want to volunteer, Kathleen will be the person to get a hold of. But like I said, this is the phone call. This is how you're going to get notified. If you have any questions, just call us. It will be my voice talking as slow as I can. I'm from up north. I don't talk slow. I can't help it. I try. You should hear me in dispatch. But I will, this is the number, and I made this year, and I put it on the little card, so you can call the number. If we call you from if you answer the phone and you want to listen to the message again, you can call the number down here listed and listen to the message again. But you have to call from the same number that I called you, because when you call that number back, it recognizes your phone number because you're all built in a database. I have the entire county employees, all special needs people. I have all the EOC workers. I have over 4,000 phone numbers in that database. So and I have little subgroups, and everybody in special needs is a subgroup. So I call just that subgroup of people. I have more numbers to call than I have people, because all the family members, if they want to be called too, what I suggest to them is put your phone number on here, and you're going to get the same phone call as your mother or your father. Because if they don't understand the message, you're getting it. And I also have the home health agencies, if they want it, they also get a message saying your people are getting a phone call. So they all know the phone calls are going out. We do have email. We have not used emails yet, but I do have about 131 emails listed. So I'm going to try to see if I can do an email this year, if your emails are listed. But like I said, we call, let's see, I have 862. I have about 1,200 phone numbers listed. And it calls in seconds. In seconds, this company. And it will call up to 4 times. And it will tell me, reach the person, reach the phone, number disconnected, so it will tell me what the problem is. So the only thing I ask is that you just listen, and if you say you changed your mind, I don't want to drive. Don't freak out, just call us and say, I need to be picked up. As long as the winds are not over 35 miles an hour, because the school buses have to be off at 35 miles an hour, we'll come get you. But they're only going to come one time. That's all the school can do. But we will come get you, because I told people, I said, okay, you're going to take your family member, you're going to drive them. Well, what if you're on vacation, you got somebody taking care of them? What if they're as I call it, high-functioning person, and they're home by themselves, and your car breaks down, or you're in the hospital yourself, or you're sick, or whatever. It's not guaranteed just because you said you're going to drive yourself. You're not stuck with that. We are not going to leave you out there. Just call us.
In the legislation, and the red cup behind you is water for you.
Okay, thanks.
In the legislation, are there specific things that need to be provided, or is it just sort of you need to have a space?
Right now, it's just you need to have a space. It is called House Bill 709 if you want to look under the Florida Senate. And it just lists, we have to have a space, and we have to have people to run the shelter and assist. The county has to assist the health department run the shelter. There's nothing listed right now of what else has to be provided. We've been having phone calls and conference calls and asking. So I said, okay, well, I'm already going to the group. I'm just going to ask them what are their suggestions, because we can ask all the state people we want. Let's just ask the people who do it. You know,
What a good idea.
what a concept, huh? You know, ask them, you know, what else, and if you think of something, you can always call me and go, hey, I thought of something else. You can always call me and say, this is an idea. There's no guarantee, but I'm trying to at least, you know, coloring book. My mother loved coloring book and crayons.
Yes, I was just thinking of that.
She loved her Boston Red Sox. She would watch Boston. She would love Jeopardy. She would sing Regis and Kathy Lee. That's how far back it goes. Don't touch that TV. If Regis was on, do not touch that TV, because she will give you the death look, and you were messed up. I used to watch my mom. I said, how do you, she would answer questions, and sometimes she would answer questions, sometimes she wouldn't. Or she would just like nod at you. So I watched her. She would pour a cup of tea. My mother loved her tea. She's 100% Irish. And she would put her finger in the coffee cup, and she would pour it, and I said, because she started having this problem with her vision. Well, she knew when to stop when she hit the thumb, that she wouldn't overflow. She had little tricks that she taught herself. So it's amazing what you think you're helping, but they adapt also. She had those little tricks that she did. Like I said, unlocking the doors, picking off the bracelets. She'd laugh at my father going, ha ha, Bob, I tricked you again. And he'd just sit there and go, yeah, you did. She, very smart woman. But she lasted 13 years with that disease. So she died, she just turned 65.
So in the end stages, or the late middle stages, some people are very tactile, so things that they can pull apart, like Velcro or different textures,
PVC pipe.
different fabrics.
Cheap.
PVC pipe?
Yeah, little pieces of pipe, like as if you were
Just to
doing
twist.
plumbing.
Yeah.
But they can twist.
Something with their hands, just something to do.
Exactly.
Something they're not going to also choke on. That was my concern too, is okay, you got to make sure it's like they say with babies, if it can go down a toilet paper or paper towel holder, it's too small, they can choke on. Same thing for them,
Yeah.
you know. Is there any food that's bad that you can think of that would not be good for someone?
Concentrated sugar,
Yeah,
leather piper.
yeah.
So one food that we know that is a magic food for calming down someone with dementia is ice cream.
Right.
For a couple of reasons. One, because it's smooth, it has a nice texture, it's cool.
You mean put it in a bowl or like a cone or
Well, I would say maybe even just like little.
little good humor? I'm dating myself here. Little good humor vanilla cups.
Yeah, and if they could be sugar-free, one, probably better. But that sometimes is, in that, what you're doing is changing all of their routines, all their environment, so we
Correct.
can see a lot of the people being just agitated to start with.
So you need a passive something to,
Little pacifier.
You know, Costco has this package of low sugar, high fiber cinnamon snack called Belvita. And they're actually good for diabetics.
Correct.
But they taste good, like a cookie. So that could be
Okay.
a good thing.
Well, the biggest thing too is we don't have salt-free, sugar-free, kosher-free. It's whatever's there. So if you have to have a special diet, my granddaughter is sick. She just got diagnosed with celiac, so now we're becoming gluten-free in my house.
Sure.
So we don't have any of that stuff right now. So if you need to have that, you need to bring it. And I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, you've overwhelmed me with all this, and your two checklists are very helpful, but it seems to me that this is a maxi checklist. Some of these things would go to the
Right.
counter if you had to.
Some things don't
This is
apply.
what you ought to have at home
Right,
to select from, and the selection is family by family.
correct. So it's just kind of a broad list of everything. And there's things probably that aren't on there that you might know that you may need. You just add to yourself. It's just to give you a starting point.
Okay. My other observation is if you can possibly do it, go visit a family during the hurricane, get out of town.
Well, I put my kids on a plane on 9/11 to New York in 2005 when Ivan was coming, and they about killed me. And I took them to the I got permission to take them to the airport because I was working, I couldn't. And I couldn't figure out why I couldn't see the plane. Because I wanted to watch my kids go, and they're like, my brother picked him up. I said, you're putting us on the plane on 9/11, you're sending us to New York. And I'm like, it's fine. Oh, I'm just lying through my teeth. I'm like, it's fine. I didn't know what to tell them. They were 17, 7, and 12 at the time. My brother was picking them up. Well, I asked Lee, I said, why can't I see the plane? I want to watch my kids go. Because the windows were all boarded up. Hello. I didn't think about it. And I never saw something. I saw people, my neighbors, I saw people from Boy Scouts. That place was packed. People were leaving left and right. But if you can get out of town, my kids, and then Ivan, because it was a Cat 5 coming here. So I got my kids out of town when Ivan was still coming here as a Category 5. They got to Connecticut, the next day it turned, and they got a 4-day vacation, which is fine, but they enjoyed it. You know, I was like stressed out. But I mean, I had to get them out of town so I could do my job. And we all stay at the shelter, which is the EOC, which is on Lele Cultural Parkway, which is behind the library. So we are all there. Once, at a certain point, the director says, welcome to the EOC, find your spot. We are there for the duration. We do shifts. But we do have a couple, places there, but it is not open to the public because we also have the 911 center there.